You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the interactive interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
So what you gonna do?
Let me talk to you, dummies.
Oh, yeah.
You're where it's at.
If you're smart like me, you gotta listen.
And if you don't listen to it,
I'll come out of your computer and body slam your ass.
don't be a Melvin.
I will scar you.
Open your third eye.
Woo! It's gonna be cool.
Oh, what a rush.
It's showtime!
We had a lovely conversation.
To the interactive interview. Interactive Wrestling Radio.
The Epicenter.
First, Josh Matthews. Let me open your line up there, Josh, and there we go. Josh, how's it going today?
I'm good, Ross. How are you?
I'm doing very well. What's the latest and greatest in your world?
Well, first of all, I'd like to send all of our condolences from everyone at Impact to Grado on the loss of his grandmother. I talked to him a little bit this afternoon. Obviously, Grado couldn't make the call today, so we wish him all the best, sending prayers over to Grado as we get ready for what should be an incredible Impact on Thursday, tomorrow. We know we're going to get Madison Rayne versus Taya Valkyrie in a match that should go a long way in determining who's next to challenge for the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary. I asked Don Callis the question if the road to the Knockouts title goes through Taya Valkyrie, and he believes that it does. A tag team main event that I find to be very intriguing, OVE versus Phantasm and Pentagon Jr. Great piece on ImpactWrestling.com this week about the importance of the mask as it relates to wrestlers who wears masks and what those mean for their careers. So you can go and check that out at ImpactWrestling.com right now. You guys are going to see kind of what transpired at the press conference for Slammiversary between Moose and Austin Aries. We know that we have them in the main event for the World Championship on July 22nd in Toronto at Slammiversary. And the tag team titles will be on the line as well tomorrow night. Z&E versus LAX with King. And another article on ImpactWrestling.com this week looks at King and what he's done so quickly for Santana and Ortiz as those boys get ready to challenge for the World Tag Team titles. I mentioned Slammiversary the 22nd. VIP packages and tickets are still available for Slammiversary and for the TVs on Monday and Tuesday. Just go to shopimpact.com right now. Secure your place in Toronto. Some great VIP events will be taking place. We know that you can see Boone the Bounty Hunter with Johnny Impact on Monday the 23rd. And we'll be adding some more events to our VIP calendar as we get closer and closer to Slammiversary. I should also mention that Thursday night we're going to hear from Killer Kross for the first time since all these attacks have been taking place on Impact. The only person I think anyone was really happy to see be attacked from Killer Kross was Ross. Ross has recovered, and we're going to hear from Killer Kross on Thursday. So VIP packages, Slammiversary, Shop Impact, everything that's happening. With that said, Ross, you want to have me answer some questions at this time?
I don't think that was in your script. That was kind of ad-libbing. Maybe you should start.
I don't have a script, Ross. I don't have a script at all, ever.
Well, then maybe you should. That said, let's open up at this time strictly for questions for Josh. You have a question? Let me do this.
Q&A session has started. To ask your question, please press *6.
Self and your media outlet. Again, strictly questions at this point for Josh Matthews.
What?
Hey, Josh, this is BQ from Impact Lounge Podcast and V2 Wrestling. Can you give us an update on the status of the relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah? Seems like we haven't really heard much, seen much from that partnership as of late.
Well, I think as it relates to Impact and all of our partners, it's sort of the ebb and flow of how these things go, right? Ishimori was someone that was with Pro Wrestling Noah, then he was revealed as the Bone Soldier for the Bullet Club and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I think as it benefits Impact and as it sort of plays into what we're doing, obviously you're going to see more guys from those promotions come over here, and vice versa too. I mean, Eddie Edwards was over there in Japan for a long time. Again, I think it just speaks to the ebb and flows. I'm looking forward to seeing different athletes that we haven't seen for a while from AAA and from Mexico come back to Impact and make their impression felt. I mean, you've had mainstays like Phantasma and guys like that. I'd like to see, a Garza Jr. again, or have our guys go down to Mexico and compete. So it's just, you got to look at the calendar of events and what makes sense for everyone and where to bring talent. I mean, that flight to Japan's not easy to come back and forth. So I think, we'll see more guys from Noah and maybe even some other partners in Japan in the future.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Josh, how you doing? This is Jeff from HighSpot Podcast and HighSpotPodcast.com. Storytelling has been kind of important, especially with Dominion, with Kenny Omega and Okada, and also kind of the NXT TakeOver. How important do you think storytelling is going to be when you guys set up your main event for Austin Aries and Moose?
Well, we have the it's either the advantage or the disadvantage of the way we tape, right? We did the press conference in Toronto. And those that were there or followed along got to find out that it was going to be Moose versus Austin Aries for the World Championship at Slammiversary. And that played out on TV as we got closer. So to me, it's, storytelling is one of the most important things that we can do. It's how do you create characters? How do you make people aware of those characters? And how do you build to these matches? I obviously have seen the build to most of the matches taking place at Slammiversary, and I think that all of them have great builds in the show. It's the real world that sort of affects us and the calendar of how everything happens in real time in real life. But if you say, we always talk about which universe are we playing in. If you stay in the universe of how the show goes and how we unveil things and how we roll things out, I think the stories are great, and I think that they're there, and I think that they'll continue to be there as the creative team has the sort of the task of, okay, well, this happened in real time here. We're doing this here. How do we make it fit here? And, when I talk to Sanjay a lot, he talks about it being a puzzle, and it really is a puzzle. And I give those guys a ton of credit for figuring out how to make that puzzle work and how to sort of get the best bang for our buck.
Thank you.
Well, Josh, I know your time was limited this morning. I know you messaged that to me, so I will wrap it up with that. Any final thought as we heading to Impact next tomorrow night?
I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited to see what happens, and this, I believe, is the final Impact in the Impact Zone before we get to Windsor for next week's show. So the first ever Impact to take place in Windsor, Ontario, happens next Thursday. A lot of things happening around that show, and really kind of gets started tomorrow night on Impact. So Ross, thank you. I know you guys are looking forward to talking to Katarina about her relationship with Grado and what she has planned. So with that, Ross, I will talk to you soon.
You got it. Thanks, Josh. And as he mentioned, it gives me great privilege. Let me open up her phone here to welcome Katarina to the media teleconference. Katarina, how are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I believe you told me you were in Los Angeles today. Did I hear that correctly?
I am, and this is where I live.
So how are things going for you? What's going on with you today?
Oh, lovely. It's beautiful and sunny. I'm just kind of taking it easy. I'm doing a little bit of, cleaning up around the house, that kind of thing. It always takes me a while. I did some shows at the weekend. It takes me a while to unpack and do my laundry and everything. So that's kind of what's happening today.
Let's just start. Welcome back to Impact, and talk to us about your relationship with Grado.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I'm thrilled, obviously, to be partnered with Grado, and I also would like to, at this point, offer my condolences publicly. Obviously, I've messaged him this morning. So, for his last difficult time for him. But Grado is really wonderful, in and out of the ring for me to work with. He's just so much fun. It gives me kind of a different dimension because I usually play like more of a heel character. That's what I've been used to for so long. So just doing a little bit more of a comedy and having a little bit more fun with it, it's really awesome. And then he's just so easy to get along with and so funny in real life, too.
All righty. Well, at this point, Mindy, we will open it up for questions for Katarina. If you have a question, *6. And as always, please, one question at a time. and identify yourself and your media outlet. Hey, Jeff, did you have a question? I know you were in line here. I didn't see you get out the line. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I did actually. This is Jeff Martin again from High Spot Podcast and highspotpodcast.com. You just said about doing more serious roles and changing over to some comedy with Grado. Just talk about that and how much what you've actually picked up from him, and is it easy for you to improvise and have that kind of more control of your character with Impact?
Yeah, I feel in terms of improvisation, things like that, it always helps to have somebody, really great to play off of, and Grado has just this abundant energy that makes it really easy to just go back and forth and, come up with ideas. And when we do promos, then obviously there's an outline, for the backstage segment or whatever, and then we sort of fill in the blanks, and that becomes just a really fun process, when you have really have people who enjoy it and having fun with the character. So, say in terms of wrestling, obviously I've been, in here for so long. I have obviously played lighter roles, in terms of acting, done some comedy, done some improv, things like that. So it's not completely new territory, but sort of in wrestling, it gives me a little bit of a different flavor. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good.
Hi, Katarina. This is BQ with the Impact Lounge Podcast and V2 Wrestling. With respect to Madison Rain's history, you're probably the one knockout who's really got an opportunity to really mix it up with some of the legends in women's wrestling. Who do you see on the current knockouts roster, the one girl that you think, 10 years from now, we're really going to be talking in the same breath of maybe a Gail Kim or something like that?
God, all of them? I don't know. I think, Tessa Blanchard springs to mind. Obviously she's unbelievable already. She has, obviously all the history from her family and grew up with it, but she's just, in terms of how she presents herself in the ring and her work and everything coming together, she's so solid, but also so charismatic. And I think she has an it factor for sure. All
right, thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Did you have a question?
Yeah. Hello? Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, I do have a question. This is Shruti from Sports Kira. Hello.
Do you have a question for Katarina? Guess not.
Hi, this is Cody from the Sportster. Kind of playing off question 2 questions ago. I was just curious, considering you have so much experience playing a heel, what aspects did you have to really change to adapt to a more comedy role?
I do also have some, experience acting. So for me, it was just kind of just changing mindset into, a different character. So it wasn't like I never played that kind of a character before, but it was unexpected, shall we say. But then, I was expecting to come back and play a heel, so I was sort of in that mindset. But when I found out, I could just sort of switch. But then, once you embrace it and just decide to go for it, and it's just ended up being so much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to go to a question from Charlie Boy, who would like to know, are you excited about the state of affairs in Impact?
I am extremely excited about the state of affairs in Impact. I think that there is so much going on in terms of creativity. I think the team leading it in terms of, the creative, there's so many fantastic ideas, so many really strong characters, what they're doing, backstage segments or even completely outside. I mean, the whole angle with Sue Young and Ali and Rosemary. I mean, just the cinematics of that, as well as, Eddie Edwards and OVE and shooting a lot of stuff on location, going outside of what you would normally expect in wrestling, coupled with bringing in so much amazing talent, the lucha guys, as well as just new people coming in and also the people that are established there. I just think in terms of as an all-round product, the wrestling is just so great, but all, around it, the storylines are so exciting, and I feel that it's a really fresh and edgy product, and I think that more and more people are seeing that and getting behind it, and it will just grow and grow.
Alex T. would like to know, who are you looking forward to facing the most, and who are you looking forward to Grado facing the most?
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, me personally, so like I said, Tessa, obviously, I was very fortunate to have faced Sue Young at the Zero Miedo one night only in Toronto. So that was amazing. I'd love to, work with her more. Ali, Taya, Valkyrie, both of those. And by the way, when I earlier, picked out Tessa Blanchard, I could add all of those ladies to the list as well. I just think everybody has such a unique personality and style. It's just such a pool of talent, and I can't wait to, get to work with some of them a little bit more.
Hi, this is Rory calling from Team Venom Media in the UK. With the recent announcement of the Impact versus the UK show in September, is that something that you'll be a part of, and who would you like to see Impact face off against?
Well, I'm crossing my fingers very much that I'll be a part of it. So I can't say it for sure, but I'm hoping very much to be there. When you say face who in terms of the UK talent?
Yeah, the Impact announced that they'll be working with several UK promotions for some Impact versus UK talent. Is there anyone on the UK scene that you'd like to face off against at Impact?
Oh, goodness. I haven't been there in so long. I went to BEW last week, but they had a lot of people flying in and things like that, so it's hard for me to pinpoint who exactly is out there. I know there's some really great promotions out there, MGW, for example. I don't know if that's a promotion that will be working with Impact. There's Casey Owens, Tony Storm, but I don't know if she'll still be around. I actually faced her a couple of years ago. I mean, there are so many, girls even out there now. The scene has so completely changed from when I was there, so I'm definitely excited to see what we'll be facing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Shruti from Sportskeeda. I'm so sorry my connection was disturbed last time. I meant to ask this to you that this is your second run with Impact. Is there any difference that you feel between both your runs in the promotion?
In terms of the product or in terms of backstage or both?
Or in both the cases, in the product as well as whatever experiences that you face, that you have right now, as well as what you used to face earlier, or what is the basic difference between both, if there is any? Would you like to share that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's different from the last time around because, obviously, the entire team is sort of different. You know, the management team that is there, the creative team that is there. So it feels like maybe it goes at a slightly different pace. There's different people there, you know, but as a whole, you know, I'm very excited to be part of it. I think the locker room is fantastic. You know, I'm enjoying the role that I'm doing, and I'm glad that I'm getting to play, you know, sort of a very different character. It's, you know, it kind of makes me sort of think on my feet as well. So I'm having a lot of fun with it.
So earlier you were known as Winter. Why did you revert to your real name?
Sorry? Why did I go back to?
Hello?
Could you repeat that question?
Yes.
Yeah. Earlier you were known as Winter. Why did you revert to your real name, Katarina?
Why did they give me the name Winter? Well, why did I change that? Well, Winter was a completely different character. And so I think, you know, we just decided that I was going to come back as myself, as it were.
We're going to go to a question from John D., who would like to know, what have you not accomplished in wrestling yet that you still would like to?
I'm still waiting to do a cage match. So that's kind of number one on my list. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Wow, I just cannot see you in a cage match. How would that go?
How would that go? What do you think? Epic. Seriously?
Hi, Ryan Bowman from thegorillaposition.com. Obviously, you've got an extensive acting career. I was just wondering if you had any projects that you were working on outside of wrestling currently.
No, not at the moment, other than I'm writing some stuff. But I do have a film that I think is going to be coming out this year called Redcon 1. It was a zombie movie where I play a soldier. So stay tuned for that.
This question comes from Dan Collins, who would like to know, who are you backing in the World Cup?
Well, even though I mainly have an affinity with Great Britain, I generally tend to support Germany. I guess maybe because I grew up there and also just because they've got such an amazing team.
We have a question from Black Goku, who would like to know, how did you and Grado get together?
Well, we showed up in the impact zone, and somebody said, there you go, that's your boyfriend. or does he want the kayfabe storyline story of how we met?
Why don't we go that direction?
I don't think I really know.
All righty.
I think I was in Scotland, and I was, you know, watching him from the stands, and then afterwards I may or may not have walked up to him and given him a flower and said, Grado, I've always wanted to meet you. Can we have lunch? Or something along those lines.
All right. We have a few more questions coming in here from Kevin Moore. Would like to know, how would Grado fare in Rosemary's universe?
Well, I think Grado would fare very well anywhere he goes, you know. He's very resourceful and so charming. I think any problems that he encounters in life, he charms his way out of them, you know, because who doesn't love him?
All righty. And media, if you did have a second question, feel free to get in queue now. We do have a question here. Where's one? Is Vampire the Destroyer. What do you think about Allie and her future potential as a Knockouts champion yet again?
I think Ali is unbelievable. And I said this before, what I admire the most about Ali is when she comes to the ring and she's this cute little blonde innocent looking bunny in pink. But then when she's fighting, she can just turn it up in terms of, you know, her aggression and her, you know, being ready to fight, and really the way that she, you know, works in the ring. So just that juxtaposition, I think is so wonderful. And I really greatly admire that about her. And so I think she has the whole package. I think she would definitely make a, you know, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times knockouts champion, from, you know, for sure.
Hi, this is Cody from the Sportster again.
Hello.
Going back to the answer you had before, you said that you expected to play a heel when you came into Impact. Were there talks of that when you came in? And if so, what were they?
Not really. It was just, I guess, you know, what I would have expected, because I've just, you know, done it for so long. So.
Okay. Did you know when you would
but I
be more comedic?
Sure whether, a couple of days before I found out, you know. But I guess I just expected, you know, I wasn't sure if they would bring Winter back or not as well, you know, and I suppose that was decided against. But I was open to, you know, to doing whatever.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Katarina, BQ again with the Impact Lounge and V2 Wrestling. So I was at the Impact and Lucha Underground event at WrestleCon, and I saw you before the show enter with Gail Kim, and which I believe was Rosa Mendez, or the artist formerly known as. She a good friend of yours? Were you just hanging out, or is there a chance we might see some involvement from her in some capacity with Impact?
Oh, Rosa and I have been friends. So, I mean, we go back to OVW. You know, we were good friends then, and we actually were at a signing together at that weekend. So we basically spent all weekend together. So she's a wonderful person and a close friend, and she's doing a lot of wrestling. I mean, she's training hard. She's doing some shows now. So it wouldn't be up to me whether or not she could appear in Impact, but I wouldn't be against it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Katarina, we got a question from Lee Med of Live Radio. He wants to know, who is the ultimate man, Grado or Kevin Nash?
Oh, God, no. Dude. Well, I think that's an impossible question, too. How could I even... Well, I guess I'm going to have to refer to the Rosemary thing of, you know, parallel universes. Let's say in the ultimate fantasy universe, it would have to be Kevin Nash, and then in the parallel universe, you know, of real love, it'll have to be Grado.
Or maybe you'll go to a dinner with both of them.
Oh, perhaps. That's not a terrible idea.
I'm sure there'd be a glass of wine or two at that meal.
I think so.
Hi again, this is Shruti from Sportskeeda. Katrina, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the knockout champion Su Yung?
I think she's fantastic. I just think the entire character is so well thought out and performed. I got to wrestle her for the Zero Miedo One Night Only. And just standing across from her in the ring, just, you know, first of all, gives you the chills. Just working with somebody who's so, you know, committed to a character and who plays it so well. And then just in the ring, she's so innovative. She has so many ideas. She's, you know, so passionate. And, you know, it was really, really great working with her. So I hope to do that again in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg Struck asked, what was your favorite moment from your first run in Impact?
Favorite moment? I don't know. I guess it would be potentially, obviously, winning the Knockouts Championship. But also, I really enjoyed when Nikki and I did like a street fight. You know, we brawled a lot backstage, and then we went out to the ring and finished the match, and that was really, you know, special moment. I just really enjoy, I guess, you know, stipulations and matches too. So to have something like that stands out where you can watch the footage and go, oh yeah, we did something really cool. You know, that's enjoyable to me. And then obviously working with Mickey was always unbelievable. You know, she's a legend, as you know.
All righty, Katarina, I know your time is limited today, and I appreciate you filling in a very sad situation with Grado. We'll wrap it up at this point. Media, I appreciate your time very much. We'll give the floor to Katarina for one final thought.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for having me at Impact, because I'm so excited to be here, especially at this time where it's really, you know, just gaining momentum and getting so be such an exciting product and something that people are getting behind and people are wanting to watch. And in addition, somebody touched on it, you know, partnerships with other companies. I think that is such an exciting development now on the wrestling scenes, you know, in general. And it's just allowing for so many possibilities and so much, you know, creative freedom to, you know, in terms of storylines and, you know, dream matches and things like that. So I think this is such an exciting time to be around the wrestling scene in general and Impact specifically. So I wanted to say, you know, thank you for allowing me to be a part of that.
All righty. Well, I appreciate this, and I guarantee you, Katarina, the next time you and I have to do media in the city, it will not be at 7 in the morning.
I don't mind.
All right. Well, you're a team player as best there is. So, personally, I thank you, and have yourself a great day, great week. Mm-hmm. Media, we will talk to you next week.
Thank you. You too.
Q&A session is over.